Hey, 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 hey. What's up, folks? Yes, it is time. It is time for another live, Veganuary live with your girl, JQue. This is the last one for this month, and it's so beautiful that it ended on the 31st of January. We have been participating in Veganuary live all month. That is when you take one meal a day, just one meal a day, and decide to go vegan for that entire month, at least one meal a day. For me, I've been doing as many meals as I can completely vegan. And I've also had some amazing panelists. And tonight, no short of amaze freaking balls. My panel is like so super dope, and it's a great way to end the Veganuary challenge. So, what I need for you guys to do right now, that's right, it only takes 30 seconds. I need you guys to share this live. Whether you're joining me on Facebook or on YouTube, I need you to share this live. I also need you to tag a few vegans or a few people who are like me, still transitioning and need to jump in on this Veganuary live. We need as much comment and chit chat and interaction and discussion about the last few topics. So while you're sharing, let me give you a little insight on what we're going to be talking about when it comes to the Veganuary tonight. First of all, we're going to be talking about how affordable and convenient it really is to eat plant-based or to be a vegan. When we're traveling, we need to know all the tips and the tricks for if you want to be a vegan, or if you are a vegan, or if you're a new vegan, so that we can stay in the life. We're also going to be talking about vegan haters and naysayers. Yeah, that's right. I hear that even within the community, there's always negative talk about food choices. And then the last but not least, we're going to talk about is practicing veganism. Veganism is not just how you eat. For some people, it is a complete lifestyle. And we're going to dive in to more of what that lifestyle means tonight, and, just get some more insight on being able to understand what it really means to have veganism as a lifestyle. All right. So you guys share. I'm going to give you 30 seconds, and then we're going to come right back. All right. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Veganuary live with your girl, JQue. We are talking all things vegan eats and vegan lifestyle, including plant-based, non-GMO, people who eat honey, people who don't eat honey, people who eat meat, people who don't eat meat, people who think they want to eat meat. All things vegan and plant-based life. So I'm going to jump right on in. Tonight, I have three amazing panelists, and the first one I'm going to introduce to you has an amazing story, an amazing testimony, an amazing life, and I'm so excited to have also a person who works in the industry of serial entrepreneurship, such as myself, to be on the platform tonight. And listen, I'm going to jump right on in. So, ladies and gentlemen, can you please help me welcome to the platform Miss Whitney Ford? What's up, my girl?
Hey, hey.
Yes. So, Whitney, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and how you became vegan.
So, obviously, I'm Whitney. As far as about myself, like you said, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I became vegan, I would say, for I guess, a number of reasons, but one of the main reasons that I try to share is that, of course, if someone who know me know that I'm a wheelchair user, I was born with spina bifida, and I have other health issues that go on. And long story short, they cause a lot of ailments at times, and sometimes, it's easier to do things that to take care of yourself than to rely on others to do what's needed for you, even if it's their job. Um, I've also never really had as much liking to certain things, so it wasn't really hard for me to do. I haven't been on the journey very long. I'll be 2 years plant based vegan as of May 1st, so I will be sharing and learning today.
Oh, that is so awesome. I mean, when I say that, I think that it's awesome because again, you already are faced with so many life challenges and then to decide to go vegan, especially on a nutritional challenge, like you said, learning is one of the biggest things that I found has made it easier for me to transition. And so I'm so excited to have you on the panel tonight to
I'm
share.
excited to be here.
And thank you so much, Whitney. Ladies and gentlemen, the next person I'm bringing on the panel, if you're from Huntsville or the surrounding area, baby, you know this celebrity because her vegan food is freaking amazeballs. Oh! And she recently got a place where I can actually drive up and sit down and eat, and I don't have to wait for a pop up anymore. Isn't that like so totally dope? Amazeball. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nikia
Hey!
So excited to have you on tonight. Thank you so much for sharing. So, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you and how you decided to go vegan.
All right. So, again, my name is Nikia Lightfoot, and I am the CEO and owner of Bougie Vegan. 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and the next day after my diagnosis, I went hardcore as an alkaline vegan, changed my diet, and I believe that that helps me with my recovery after surgery. And so I've kind of played around with going back and forth with plant-based and then going back to eating some meat. And then my body just started rejecting meat. So I couldn't continue to eat meat. So that made me go back to a plant-based diet. And so, I looking around and noticing that there needed to be some more options in the city and surrounding areas, and so I wanted to be a part of the solution. And so Bougie Vegan was birthed during the pandemic, and here we are. And my goal is just to continue to educate people in the community and just keep serving delicious food that happens to be vegan.
Yeah, baby. Those are great goals. And you should definitely continue to do that. All right, thank you, Nikki, and Nikia. We're so excited to have you on the panel today, and looking forward to all the great knowledge that you're going to share today.
Thank you.
All right, so my next guest I've interviewed and spoken with, and we've known each other for a while. We've built things together. We've been a part of things together, but I had no idea all of this time that she was vegan. OMG. This is amazeballs. So I'm going to introduce my next multifaceted and multi-talented vegan sister. And you guys are going to be so excited to have to share what she brings to the platform. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Shamika Sledge from the Melanin Pride. Hey!
Greetings. Hello.
Excited to have you on tonight. So I'm gonna let you introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about how you became vegan.
Okay, well, greetings everyone. My name is Shamika Sledge. I am from Northern Alabama. People know me from the Melanin Pride magazine. We are an international magazine and merchandise. So if you need anything for Valentine's Day or Black History Month, just head on to our themelaninpride.com. But I started that because we didn't have any well, from the small time I'm in, we didn't have any places where you can feel comfortable advertising your black or brown business or news that you had coming up. So that's why I started that company. I started being vegan because I just wanted more healthier, and it wasn't, honestly, it wasn't for the animals. It was personally like a personal choice where I want to make more choices to heal myself from the inside out. So basically, that's why I've been vegan, and I shop with Bougie Vegan. I love her food, and I think I've been vegan for about 2.5 years now.
Yeah, this is super dope fresh, Shamika, because, I knew about the Melanin Pride. I love everything about you, every concept, of course, podcasts together, interviews on other
Yes.
platforms and all of that kind of stuff. And so when I found out that you were vegan and you responded, I was like, oh, this is super dope because I remember when you weren't.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And so that was why it was such a shocker for me. I was like, oh my God, another transitioning vegan that I actually know. So it was
Yes.
great to have you. And you're a business owner. So you
Hmm.
definitely have the challenge, first of all, of the naysayers, being in rooms where people don't always consider your nutritional options. And with you traveling and being international
Yes.
business, you also, I'm sure, have a lot of tips and tricks for us to
Yes.
be able to remain vegan or try vegan or even safely feel like we're getting real vegan food when we're traveling or we're in an unfamiliar territory. So I'm gonna bring
Absolutely.
everybody on the live, honey, and it is about to go down. So the first question, and you guys, we're going to be respectful, and whoever's talking and who's ever not talking, let's try to make sure that we stay in the conversation. But the first question, a lot of comments came in on our last live, which was last week, and let me get my little thing up here. So the first question that we're going to ask or we're going to tackle is: vegan and plant-based life has been deemed non-affordable and definitely not convenient. All of us live in the world where we pretty much are always concerned about time and schedule. And as women, especially Black women, we always have to go above and beyond. So there's always something that we're having to face or something that we have to do. I feel like with everything that's going on just in regular life, why do vegan plant-based options always have to be more expensive? And when they are not expensive, why do we also now have to be concerned with, if we go to somewhere that's a convenient place, why aren't there very many options? And are the options good for me? Because they got vegan burger things everywhere now. You pull up to the Mapco. Mapco now has vegan hot dogs on the little roller thing, at the gas station. The Raceway, they are now beginning to carry plant-based, options, even in the little, corner store. So the affordability and the convenience of being vegan are some of the things that people always say, why does it have to cost so much? Who wants to tackle that first? Oh, nobody's quick to put that mute off on that one.
Well, I guess I'll start off. I will have to kind of disagree with plant-based foods not being affordable. It just all depends on, your selections at the grocery store. Um, it's really no different than someone who's purchasing meat options, and sometimes plant-based options are cheaper than meat options. When it comes to affordability, when you look at plant-based options, you can look at beans and grains, like quinoa, leafy greens, those type of things, those are very reasonable. You can get fresh produce at reasonable prices. Where it does get expensive is if your diet only consists of the fake meats, as they say. That can get expensive if you choose to use those options as your food sources on a daily basis. Yes, it can get expensive. But if you look into other, like your fresh vegetables, or even I know some people have issues with canned vegetables, but if you, look into fresh vegetables, grains, pastas, those items can go a very long way, and they are affordable. But again, as I said, if you only purchase like the faux meats, it can get expensive. But some of the stores like Aldi per se, they're starting to get in some reasonably priced plant-based meats, cheaper than some of the larger names. So it can be affordable if you plan it out, and if you make the right selections, it can be affordable.
This it's funny that you say that, simply because planning, every conversation that we've had during these live panels, the same words, the same behavior keeps coming up no matter what we're tackling. And it's the planning. Being a vegan takes a plan. Being a meat eater takes a plan. So I'm like you, Nakia, when people come at me with this, oh, you guys think you're bougie. Oh, you've gone to vegan lifestyle, JQue, because you're bougie. You're right. I am bougie about what I'm putting in my system. Some people are bougie about their pocketbooks or their purses. Some people are bougie about their car. Yes, if you want to call me bougie because I'm particular about what goes in my body, listen. When I was eating meat, I was bougie about my meat too. So I was only trying to eat the high dollar meat too. So it had nothing to do with me being vegan or me thinking that, I'm too good, or I think I want to have, this lifestyle based on that. Granted, I will not say that all people who are eating this lifestyle are like me and all the other panelists. Some people are doing it for a look or because it's a trend. And when you're doing it based on that, you're trending. Well, you're going to pay the cost to be a trender. You got to pay the cost to be the boss, right? I just think that, again, it moves into that naysayer and hater. People want to judge. Now I get judged based on what I'm eating. If I go and I sit down at a restaurant with you and the only option is salad, and like Jordan was saying a few weeks ago, I'm so sick of everybody who thinks that I don't eat meat. The only thing that I eat is salad. Oh, what salad you eating today? Oh, what's on your salad now? Well, geez, salad is not the only thing. And it really is not the most affordable thing either. People think salad is really affordable. And I know that you could speak to this, Nakia. When you go buy the fresh stuff, not the salad bag that has all the chemicals sprayed on it and, all the extra stuff. Don't get me wrong. I eat me a bag salad every now and then. I do. I'm not saying that it's good or bad. I'm just saying the difference from a bag salad versus buying the fresh stuff. It's actually cheaper when I just go buy a fresh salad. That same $8 I spent for the bag, I can get 8 salads out of all the stuff that I would buy for that one bag. So again, I just think it's planning. I think people
Absolutely.
need to take time to dive in. Knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else want to chime in on affordability and convenience? Go ahead, Winnie. You can unmute yourself.
I would say I like what you said about, well, even when I ate meat, I was bougie about the meat that I ate, you know? And I think that maybe there's a type of overthinking or pressure or something to that nature in it. Because, I mean, when you just let go of all the extra stuff and being trendy and the what does everybody else think or what am I supposed to do, and just do what is best for you. It's not that hard. I'm a firm believer in doing what you can until you can do better. So, hey, if you have to eat cans right now, eat cans. If you have to do a back salad or, start weaning yourself off of the meat or whatever it is, cheese, something that you're, very fond of, just do what's best for you. It's not that it's not affordable, it's that people overthink it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's good because you're right. I do think that people are overthinking our whole lives. What we've evolved to is people and humans on this earth. And this is not specific to a culture or gender or, where you live or what color of your skin or how your hair is or who your mama was. This is humans. All people in the world have judgment issues. Social
Mm-hmm.
media is amazing because it is not a judgment free zone. The people who make, it is not. It is made, social media has grown to be so great because that you can reach any person in a specific range, or you can be not reaching anybody in a specific range.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the judgment of it is based on people's knowledge. A lot of
Yeah.
times what we don't know, we tend to judge. What we do know, we tend to defend.
Yeah.
Yeah, even
Instead
our
of
lifestyle choices.
instead of just like even I said when I introduced myself, sharing and learning. And I honestly, even when I'm 5 years into it or however many years into it, I will always be sharing and learning because I don't know everything. And that's okay. But in our world, we sell ourselves short because we don't accept that we don't know everything.
Oh my God, girl. I'm glad I was on mute when you said that because, woo, woo, honey, boo, boo. We do think we know everything too. I mean, Shamika, you got to chime in on this one because I know you, woo, woo. Don't people think they know everything about
Yeah,
everything?
yeah, and that's kind of a hard human trait to get out of yourself, especially when you're learning. I'm glad I actually started this before I started my feminine journey, because it's so easy to think like being soft, you have to go here, this restaurant, eat this food, whatever, and that would have been a whole lot. So like, well, I know this about this, so I don't have to eat this. Or simply, when I first started going vegan, I started off as a pescatarian.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that was a lot easier than just going from vegetarian to vegan, because your body automatically, like Nakia said, your body starts rejecting the food. Like cheese and bacon was the first thing my body was like, we're done with that. Like smelling it, I cannot be in the same room with cheese or bacon.
Uh-huh.
While it's cooking, I cannot do it. So you're absolutely right. But on the part about it being more affordable, I think it's more of a, like they said, what you want at the time. And I've learned to cook outside of my culture. Like I love couscous now, or I like eating more Asian food now. And a lot of their foods are more healthy. And if you go to their restaurants, it takes a little longer for it to cook because they have to actually cook it instead of grabbing it out of a jar, or, putting it on a piece of bread. So, now I use cookbooks or I use YouTube, which I would have never done before when I was just regular eating whatever I wanted to. So it kind of just broadened your horizon to more things, more cultures, more people, making you more aware of what you're supposed to be. Like my next step would be alkaline, like Dr. Sebi, his alkaline diet. Now that one
Oh
is
yeah,
that's not for the weak at all.
it is not, honey. Listen, honey, that alkaline diet, I have not been able to do it yet because as much
Yeah.
as I love alkaline water, I have all my filters everywhere I go. I'm always keeping alkaline water. The alkaline diet, woo!
Yes. Yes.
I
It's not for
already
the
know.
weak.
I'm not even going to be transitioning to that. I'm going to stick where I am.
It's challenging, but that's the diet that I was alkaline when I was going through breast cancer.
Oh
So
Oh
wow.
I
wow.
am very it wasn't challenging initially because I had people, preparing the food for me while I was going through my journey, but afterwards, that's why I ended up going back to eating some meat because the alkaline diet is so strict and you can't just run and just grab something out of the refrigerator. It's like, even like your mushrooms, you got to let them marinate for a couple of hours for them to, absorb that flavor that you're going for. So, you're not using the microwave. So it's like everything you had to cook, fresh. So unless I was eating something raw, but you don't want to eat raw all the time, you want something cooked. So it's not for the faint heart. So it's a very challenging lifestyle.
Yeah, I've had friends who have done the alkaline diet, but I've had more friends say that it was even harder to be a raw vegan than it was to even do alkaline. And I was like, well, I'm not raw anything but raw JQue. So I don't want
Mhm.
any raw food in my mouth unless it's veggies. And those I can pick out the garden and eat. And anything else that comes raw, I probably don't want it anyway because I don't eat meat. Now, Shamika, I was completely vegetarian for almost 11 years until, like Nakia, I had cancer. And after cancer, I had such a problem with some of the ailments and things. I had to add fish on purpose back into my diet because I could not get enough omega 3s that I was getting from the actual fish without supplements. And so I try my best not to take supplements as much as possible. I got my morning coffee routine and things like that. But geez, after cancer, as you know, Nikki, it seemed like your body can't do anything on its own anymore. It doesn't produce vitamin D. You won't get this back. It won't start producing that. So you have to put those levels back in where you're void in order to maximize on the biological functions that your body are still even capable of doing after cancer. And so finding good vegan food, healthy, that was made without crap was really challenging during travel. And so, my next topic that we're going to discuss, because all of you ladies have something to offer for this, is when you're traveling, what is a tip? First of all, where you decide if you're going to go and eat at a vegan place, what are some things we should look for like on the menu or in their website that help us know it's legit vegan food, plant-based food? And then, second of all, what are some very convenient vegan options when I don't have a kitchen to cook in and there's not a restaurant available and a grocery store with a whole, plethora of fruit is not available either? Those are the top three questions. Even me, as a transitioning vegan, I still face because I like variety. Sure, I could go get nuts and the regular things, but eating that every day, I would not be a vegan very long because I need variety, honey. I need some different stuff in my life. Salad is just not going to get it. Nakia, you want to tag in?
So when I'm traveling, I guess let me start off. It depends on where I'm going. So if it's somewhere where I'm traveling and I can drive, I typically pack a cooler and I take my own food because I'm really, really picky and really funny about my food. But if I'm going somewhere, I look on, there are vegan apps out there. One in particular is Happy Cow. I'll do my research. Like when I decide on where I'm going, I'll do my research and I will have a plan of action in place um, on where I'm going to eat while I'm on vacation or, work travel. I make sure that I have a plan in place. So that's what I typically do. I'll write down a list and I try to hit, if there are vegan restaurants there, those are my first choices is to go support a local vegan restaurant. And if that's not available and I want to go out, most of the time I end up, you know, um, eating salads. I do travel with my own salad dressing. Um, or I'll end up getting a baked potato or something like that if they don't have vegan options. Typically, if a restaurant offers like a vegan burger, I usually won't even order a vegan burger off of the menu because they usually use the same grill and it's cooked right next to, you know, a meat patty. And so I typically don't order burgers from restaurants because, I can tell that it's cooked on the same grill and that doesn't sit well on my stomach. So, but most of the time, like I said, if it's local or just a couple hours and I'm driving, I will pack a cooler to ensure that I have something to eat. But really, focusing on researching on the internet, vegan restaurants and I just plan it out. Everything is about planning when it comes to plant-based eating. It's planning. So those are some tips that I apply when I'm traveling.
You plan where you're going to go. You plan where you're going to park your car. You plan all this. And as a vegan or plant-based person, it's still considered a specialty diet. Meaning there are a lot more options now than there were 5 years ago. Shoot, there are a lot more options now than there were 2 years ago. Think about Nikia. She just started offering her super dope, delicious food to us during pandemic. Thank you, pandemic. So now we have another delicious, healthy, trusted vegan resource option for food. But they're still very, very scarce. And like you said, depending on where you live, trusting the source because the food is now prepared in the same space as meat. The same tools are used. The safety measures are not the same. And even though there are more options, now we have even more things we have to look at. Is the impossible really impossible because it's impossible? Is it I mean, beyond meat, because it's beyond meat, where did it go beyond or how far past meat is it really? Or so now even though there are more options, that just means there are more things we have to look into. And planning is super, 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 super important. What about you, Shamika? What are some tips that you offer or that you take in when you're doing some traveling and making choices for what you eat?
Okay, well, when I travel, it doesn't matter if it's an hour or 5 hours up the road. I always have to have some kind of snacks. I don't know if any other vegan is like this, but I am always hungry. I've always have to have some kind of grapes or Nutribar, something. I always have to have something. And it's like, you're always eating. I was like, your body burns through fruits and vegetables a lot faster than it does meat. So you're going
Yes.
to have something to snack on. But like if I go to like a family dinner, then I bring my own food. If they're eating steaks, I'll bring my own steaks. But I make my steaks from either cauliflower or mushrooms. So, or if they're doing macaroni and cheese, I'll make my own cheese. I'll make my own, or you can get vegan macaroni now at Publix. Yes. And I'll just cook it and I'll throw it in the oven, put my cheese on top of it, and same thing. Then you still got your vegetables and all that other, the other sides that you eat. Same thing if I go to the movies. If I want pretzels, I'll bring my own cheese and get the pretzel bites. And it's just like this. It's planning. Like literally, that's all it boils down to. If I want like pulled chicken or pulled pork sandwich. Just get that big pound, or what's it, like 8 pounds, 10 pounds of jackfruit, and pull it and season it. Make you chili cheese fries or chili chicken fries, and just take it with you. Or if I'm traveling and I cannot take that with me, I always try to find a Mexican restaurant, because you can always get
Ooh,
the veggie fajitas.
yes,
Mm-hmm. And
yes.
that's
You
what
know
I
what?
do.
That's a go-to. I learned that from one of my vegan friends as a secret. She said, you can always go anywhere fancy. And remember, you can always get a heated salad. And I was like, what do you mean a heated salad? She said,
Right.
they got veggies for anything. They can put it on the grill and stir fry it. So, and I'm
Yes.
thinking, ooh, I have used that to save my butt a lot because,
Yes.
to go places, airports specifically, they have salads. Sure, they do. But they already come pre-dressed,
Yeah.
pre-prepared, preserved, pre-this, pre-that. So, going over to the Walk or going over to one of those little restaurants that are inside specific to that, and it's not a chain. If they got a grill, I'm quick to say the little Asian places are really good about just throwing me some rice on the grill and putting me some of the veggies on there. I know I'm taking a chance on the grill, but Lord, I just gonna pray that whatever's not supposed to get in me gets cooked off, Jesus. Thank you,
I've
Lord.
been
And
through
bless
that
the
where it's
food they
chicken in
move.
there.
Yes, I have
Yeah.
too. I have
Yeah.
too. Or I've been to, I know this is a funny. You go to a restaurant and the first thing you ask at the person who's serving you is, so do you have any vegan or vegetarian options? And they say, oh yeah, we have all the veggies. And I'm like, oh, this is great. So you start looking at all the veggies. They come back. Okay, so are these veggies made with meat? She says, no, they don't have any meat in them, honey. We use chicken broth. Swear. I know you guys have had that. Or they'll say, no, we don't use any meat. We use butter. Okay. No. Girl, no, this turkey and these collard greens. Ain't no meat in here. Huh? Okay. Wait, hold up. Where are you from? Where a turkey is not a meat, right? Or a chicken is not a meat, right? Like,
That
somebody
reminds
help
me.
me.
That reminds me of a date I went on. It was our first date, and I had ordered sushi rolls. It was supposed to just be the veggie sushi rolls. And I get done with at least 4 or 5 of them. And I'm like, either I'm really hungry or these are really good. And he's
Uh-huh.
come back, he's checking on them. And then the guy from the kitchen brings out more sushi rolls. And I'm like, no, thank you. We already got it. He was like, what is that? I said, this is my veggie sushi rolls. He was like, no, it's not. And so the waiter comes, yeah. Yeah, so the waiter comes over there. My date is like sweating. And, and the waiter comes over there and he was like, is everything okay? And he was like, those are not her sushi rolls. And I was like, what am I eating? Like, they wouldn't tell me. I was like, what am I eating? And he's like, no, it's not meat. I said, is it meat? That's all I'm worried about. I said, is it meat? He's like, no, it's not meat. It's crab. Like, if looks could kill. And we're all just looking at him like this. Like, and I've ate all of them. I was like, I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be
Oh
sick
my
by the end
God.
of the night. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know
Yeah.
what? But like Nat and Natalia, she's watching with us. She says this happens to her all the time. Or, oh, here's a good one. One of our audience members, she says, when you ask someone, is there dairy? And they say, no, it's just butter.
That
No, we don't put any milk. We use butter. Okay. That's considered a dairy. You know what I'm saying? Or you ask, or people ask me too. I went just the other day to a breakfast club, and the person said on my thing, I checked vegan. I changed all my meal ops to vegan this month because I'm honoring Veganuary. Usually I'm finna eat me a scrambled egg, yo. Okay. But this month I was trying all the egg options that there were available. And the young lady comes out and she says to me, she says, well, we don't have any non-dairy eggs. We just have the regular eggs. And I said, oh, okay, that's not an issue. She said, well, do you want me to make you an egg with some oat milk? What? Do you want me to scramble your egg with the oat milk? I was like, but it's still going to be an egg. It's still an egg. Do you not have any non-dairy egg options? Yeah, we can do it with oat milk or almond milk. Get it together, people. You need to train your people. People do need to be aware, and they need to be connected. That's just stupid to me. I'm not necessarily saying that she is stupid, but I think that wherever she was working, they do need to take a little bit more time with servers so that they can understand, because that's where the disconnect in the communication is. Because as soon as the server goes and comes back, whoever they asked explains it to them. No, but butter does have, it comes from and then they'll come back out and they'll say, oh, you know what? That has butter in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not something that they're just completely familiar with. We're still getting accustomed, but there's so much diversity without the knowledge. People are just doing it because it's trending. Companies are jumping on it because it's trending, which is where you have to be really careful, really cautious about your choices, even when you're choosing vegan food. I mean, I had a lady say, oh, it's just vegetables. You don't have to worry about anything with vegetables. And I'm thinking, well, why do you say that? Because once you wash them off, you're good. Not like they're not growing synthetic vegetables, right?
Right. Right.
Right? Not that they're not growing synthetic mushrooms. Not all veggies and fruits are created equal either.
Correct.
So these are things that we still need to, as far as vegan lifestyle, we still need to be picky and bougie about what goes in our bodies, no matter what we're eating, whether it's meat or not. I'm still bougie about what goes in my body, baby. I'm a BBB. I'm a bougie person who worries about what's going in her body. Take that, vegan haters, naysayers. Whitney, can you tell us maybe some tricks that you use when you're traveling and to stay vegan and stay in the lifestyle of eating plants?
I would say, like everyone else has said, definitely planning. And honestly, when I'm going somewhere local, I just most of the time I just pretty much eat before I go
That's
because
good.
it just helps. It kind of takes the guesswork out of it. And if I can't take something with me, or, if I've already known about where I'm going, I did a video on my YouTube channel about going to a restaurant. It was a Mexican restaurant. It was Las Trojas, I believe. And what they gave me was really good. I wasn't as versed with everything, especially then. That was before I even made it to a year. And so I asked them if they had vegan options and everything. And I was asking her for what I usually got, was like, take this off and all of that. She said, well, you could just get.
Yeah. Having
She
to
was
make all
like, well,
those
you could just
special
get,
requests and stuff.
veggie fajitas. And it was good, but it was like the only thing.
Yep. That's always it. It's always that one thing. By the time you figure out what they are doing to it in the back, you may not want it, which is, another reason why going to a trusted vegan place is also going to be important. When you deal with restaurants or people who cater to the lifestyle, and Nakia, you can chime in on this specifically, what are some of the things that you face within the community of other vegans, other people who are plant-based? what are some of the challenges or some of the things you face head on every day, just from the people who want to eat the same way as you, even when it comes to, you know, choosing vegan food?
Okay. Well, let me just say this. So I always say this whenever I'm speaking to somebody. I don't get into the vegan politics. I believe that everybody has um, a choice. They have their own um, journey that they choose to walk on. So I'm not here to judge anybody on their vegan journey. I'm just here to help, you know, promote more vegan, plant based options, to help you make healthier choices, to help answer questions if you have questions about the lifestyle. So I just wanted to start with that I don't get into the politics of it. I'm just here to serve delicious food that happens to be vegan. That's my tagline there. But you know, there are a lot of judgmental vegans out there, and it's really a turnoff to people who have a desire to transition. It's a turnoff to new transitioners. It's a turnoff to people like me, that's been, you know, living this lifestyle for a while. It's some mean vegans out there. It's some really, really mean vegans. I've gotten feedback as far as like, because I serve what people would call transitional or junk food, that it's not real vegan food, so it's like, I don't debate with people. Um i i just i, I don't take the time to do that, because like I said, I believe that everybody, has to choose their own way, and I'm not here to judge anybody, but there are some really, really mean, judgmental vegans out there. um and even those who are not vegan, I get a lot of, comments in my inbox, like, why do vegans want to eat, food that looks like an animal, it's not that, right. It happens all the time. And, it's not that, I just woke up one morning and said, "Hey, I just want to be vegan." And salmon was like my favorite. Like I love that, and that's just something that I just didn't want to say. Oh, I want to give that up. You know, but I just couldn't keep it down. My body just kept rejecting it. And it's not that a lot of us, we just don't want to eat it. It's just that we can't because of ethical reasons, or because of our health and things like that. So I think I'm kind of going all over the place, but as I said, I'm not into the politics. I'm just here to help.
Yeah, I think the last time I googled it, the percentage of vegans in the country, out of that percentage, 64% of the people who are vegan are dietary vegans. They are not lifestyle vegans.
Mhm.
And that leads us into understanding that veganism is also a practice of the lifestyle. And when I got to researching, diving deeper into what the lifestyle of veganism is versus being a plant-based or a vegan nutritional choice person, it's pretty different. The definition of veganism is a lifestyle that avoids all animal foods, all animal derived products, even leather, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Guess, Chanel's, and products that are tested on animals, products that are makeup, body products, tested on animals. And I am not for or against either one. I have no fight in the battle. I'm not on anybody's side. You know what? I am a Whitney person. And when I say that, I mean that, because I'm one of those people that I'm going to do what I think is best for me, and I'm going to grow myself into better. And so I say still transitioning for vegan because vegan is something I want to literally try for my nutritional life. But I also have not completely stepped into vegan because there are a lot of practices with veganism that I don't quite understand yet. But there are also some practices that go with it that I would love to incorporate into my lifestyle, like literally not tested on animals. Now that's something that is one aspect of being a vegan or being a veganism that I am an advocate for. I don't think we should use our animals as test rat subjects for us. I think we should use humans for that because that's what we're testing, is to see if it's going to work on a human. So why do you got to use an animal? If you're testing for animal stuff, that's different, animals to animals. But I don't think anything they're testing on an animal should be put on a human anyway, because it ain't going to be a true test. Human is different from an animal. Now, other than the lifestyle of veganism, I like eating plant-based. I think I'm going to begin to call myself plant-based because I do want to have food in my life that is more bougie. And I'm going to be real particular about making sure that it does not contain any meat particles. But I don't have a definition or an actual title for how I eat. Healthy for JQue. Facts. It includes some things from vegan, some things from vegetarian. I'm about to still have me some salmon, Nikki. It tears me up too, honey. But baby, I just put my Benadryl, preset for it, drink my Pepto-Bismol. Baby, it's a good night. And don't plan anything before 9 o'clock the next morning because I'm going to need that recovery time. But
can I chime in for a second? I really like what you said about you choose to, eat for JQue, right? A lot of vegans, it's almost like, if you live in Alabama, you got to choose Alabama or Auburn. You don't have a choice. You got to choose. You got to make a choice. And a lot of vegans, it's like they want to put you in this box and say you have to choose, what type, are you a vegan, are you plant-based, or you're not a true vegan if you eat faux meat. It's like they try to make you choose, and that shouldn't be the case. And that goes back to why a lot of people don't want to transition or try this lifestyle, because going back to vegans are judgmental. So if I had to compartmentalize myself, I would say that I am plant-based for health reasons. I'm not all the way 100% that true vegan lifestyle that people say, oh, you can't wear leather, or because that means I have to give up my car because
girl,
my car
I
has
have
leather seats.
so much stuff, and that's the main reason why I don't. I mean, and if we're being real honest right here, I love the vegan practices when it comes to health. And if they had some better practices when it came to the other stuff, I might be a vegan, lifestyle. But I'm like, Nikki, there are certain aspects I don't, just like Baptist. I'm not a Baptist or this anymore. I'm a Christian. I am not held to terms or anything on my faith based on what someone else defines for me. So going forward, I'm going to be eating plant-based particular food, and I'm going to be a bougie vegan. I'm going to be a plant-based bougie vegan eating salmon chick. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
That you say that about salmon. A lot of people think that when you go vegan, like 100% vegan, that it's all sunshine and rainbows. And that is so far from the truth. I know women, especially, I don't know how men are, but I know once a month when women have their women time, I crave meat. I want meat so fast. Like, I want a chicken sandwich so bad. And that's a fight that as you go old, farther down the line, I'm sure to get a lot easier. But right now, it's like you have to literally fight through those days. And then afterwards, you're like, what was I thinking? I don't even want meat. Like, as soon as I eat it, I'm going to be sick. So it's just small baby steps like that. It's not, I'm going to say it's like chewing nails. It's not that hard. It's more mental than anything. Because once you start telling yourself, I don't want it, it's not good for me. And everybody asks me, well, how did you start being a vegan in the first place? What I started doing was looking up why meat or a specific animal was bad to eat. And YouTube will take you down a rabbit hole, right?
Girl,
So
what you
once you start
say?
seeing all of that, you're like, I'm good. And
Yeah.
that helped me a lot, going to find it. And then your subconscious just plays it. Even when you're not thinking about it, your subconscious keeps playing it and playing it. He's like, okay, that's why that's not good. And then dairy, you look that up. You look at how they treat the cows.
Yeah.
I don't think I want that. And so, it's just a domino effect. And almond milk, you can make that at home with almonds and water and a good blender. Like, you have all the stuff you need to survive if we just give up wanting everything fast, 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 fast. And that's all it boils down to. For me, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, planning
Yeah.
everything in our life. Each one of you, in every panel that we've had, always there are three things that any change that we want to do happens in our life. And those three things were mentioned here tonight by every one of you: planning, being knowledgeable, and deciding what you want to be for your journey as it pertains to you, making it applicable to your life, taking those things from what you know and applying them where they're going to be best for you. And in the end, growing to a better you, whether it's through all the way veganism or through 1 day a week eating vegan or one meal a month, however it works for you. And so tonight I want to encourage each one of you to, go back, look at this on a replay, grab all the tips and the tricks and try it. Even if you missed January, there are still 12 months left in the year. There are still over 200 days left in the year. And so you could still
Yeah.
try vegan. And if you decide you want to try it, you're in the Huntsville, Alabama area, and you want some trusted deliciousness, then you definitely need to go over and see the Veggie Vegan. You heard me? Heard me? The Veggie Vegan reminds me of, like she said, all those foods that I ate when I was not a meat eater that still had texture, that still had flavor. I don't miss them. But the Veggie Vegan gives me options that are available that I can still enjoy a chicken flavored sandwich, or the crispiness of biting into that Hawaiian roll with lettuce on it, the sauce being so delicious going down my throat, and not have to worry about my digestive system being jacked up, but still feel like I ate me a big old crispy chicken sandwich, baby. That is one of the things I like now about the options of being vegan, are, again, having so many different ways that we can incorporate plants into our diet that still give us nutritional and taste worthy satisfaction. And veganism, don't leave this conversation people thinking that we say that vegan is the healthiest thing going. It is not. It is a healthy option.
Mm-hmm.
And it means that you can take it and do whatever you want to do with it to make your life, your journey better. I hope that you learned something tonight. Thank you all, guests. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I appreciate you so much for being on this live with me tonight. Thank you so much, audience. Wave, guests, say bye-bye to the audience. And listen, if you have any other questions, you want to learn more about Veganuary, then chime in, tune in, stay connected. JQue now. Thanks for listening. Mwah. Have a good night.